แสงพระธรรมนำใจให้ไร้ทุกข์แสงพระธรรมนำสุขทุกสมัยแสงพระธรรมส่องสว่างครางดวงใจแสงพระธรรมนำจิตให้สงบเย็นขอธรรมสวัสดีในยามเช้ามายังญาติโยมท่านสาธุชนทุกท่านนะฮะที่กำลังติดตามรับฟังทางเพจของวัดพุทธปัญญานันทารามแล้วก็ของวัดธรรมยตารามต่างแวนคูเวอร์และซีแอตเทิลแล้วก็ขอธรรมสวัสดีมายังญาติโยมที่อยู่ทางประเทศไทยและก็ทางสถานที่อื่นๆที่เป็นกลางค่ำกลางคืนวันนี้รายการธรรมะในยามเช้าแล้วก็รายการธรรมะที่เป็นภาคภาษาอังกฤษก็กลับมาพบกับท่านผู้ชมท่านผู้ฟังเช่นเคยในยามเช้าของวันเสาร์นะฮะแต่วันนี้ก็ขอธรรมสวัสดีญาติโยมวันนี้เป็นวันพ่อแห่งชาตินะเป็นวัน Father Day Happy Father Day today ฉะนั้นวันนี้ก็เช่นเคยเราก็จัดรายการมา 2-3 อาทิตย์นะฮะก็วันนี้ก็เป็นหัวข้อหนึ่งที่ดีที่น่าสนใจที่จะพูดถึงเรื่องของ how to be happy how to maintain the happiness เพราะว่าชีวิตของคนเรามีทั้งสุขและทุกข์ฉะนั้นการที่เราได้พูดถึงเรื่องของทำอย่างไรมีความสุขก็เป็นสิ่งที่เป็นประโยชน์นะฮะวันนี้ก็ได้เชิญโยมชอสมาสนทนาธรรมเช่นเคยซึ่งโยมก็จะได้ให้สนทนาธรรมในเรื่องของความสุขในเรื่องของธรรมะแต่ญาติโยมท่านใดที่มีคำถามก็สามารถที่จะถามมาได้แต่ว่าเน้นในเป็นภาคภาษาอังกฤษซึ่งในครั้งต่อไปเนี่ยก็จะสามารถที่จะเก็บคำถามแล้วมาสนทนาธรรมเป็นบางวันแต่วันนี้ก็เป็นวันที่เราจะอวยพรให้ทุกคนมีความสุขก็เลยจัดในหัวข้อว่า how to maintain the happiness and welcome to the Dhamma talk in English and welcome and Yom Shos is today and tonight we will talk about how to maintain the happiness and thank you so much Yom Shot and you come to participate and discuss about the Dhamma and this time is time to Dhamma talk and Dhamma talk
all right thank you Namaskar พระอาจารย์ทวัชชัย and hello everybody out there in Thailand and I would like to say happy Father Day for Thai people and hello good morning early morning US and Canada yeah so today I would like to talk something very simple that is about happiness The topic that we have selected for today as the Father Day, how to make everybody happy. So it's not only how to make everybody happy, but in order to live life, we have to also maintain the happiness that we made it. I would like to refer a little bit to the teaching of the Buddha.The main teaching of the Buddha that he taught for 45 years of life. He mentioned many times, many places that I only taught two things in Buddhism. Number one, it's about suffering. Number two, it's about the end of the suffering.So what I mean to say actually in Buddhism, the happiness in Buddhism, it means when there is no suffering. That is very ultimate truth. When there is no suffering, that's what the happiness occur. So we actually feel happy because we are not suffer or we are minimal suffering. That is actually the happiness mean in Buddhism. So as the Buddha taught only suffering and the end of the suffering, thus if we want to be happy, we have to end the suffering. Therefore, the end of the suffering is the beginning of the happiness. We can say that the end of the suffering is the building up of the happiness. So now if we think of how to end the suffering, that means we are building up the happiness spontaneously. And the way to end the suffering, building up the happiness, can be classified accordingly to the way to end the suffering. That today we're going to talk about them. How many ways or how many kinds of happiness that we can accomplish. The first one I like to introduce, first kind of the happiness from giving, or we call in Pali is a dana, a charity, a generosity, compassion even, generating the sense of the sympathy, the harmony, or even the togetherness, a sense of the unity, helping, supporting, sharing the things together in all action. Giving can be a material or a non-material. The Buddha said one who gives is always loved. The material is considered as the hard power. You know, when you offer something to someone, when you helping someone with some material, give them a strong support, you know, backing up whatever they want to do, you always be there for them. You know, it's not only material, it can be a non-material also in terms of giving. We can call it a soft power or willpower. Why? Because the happiness is a power. The hard power can be like the 4 requisites. For example, you offer someone food that are in need, the lack of food, the lack of meal, they're not having enough food to support the family, and then you hand out to offer them in the form of money or directly form of the food material. You can offer them just a bottle of water when you see someone really thirsty. Or even you can offer the shelter for them, for the people, for example, homeless, to stay just one night, one day, if they need. Or if you see someone getting sick badly, illness, you offer them a medication, a drug. This kind is a giving or the offering of the material, which is a hard power. I call hard power because it's offer the energy. You are giving more energy. You are giving more body. You offer them a muscle. It's a muscle or an energy of life that all human being or even animals also needs such a requisite, the requisites, the four, the food, water, shelter, and medicine. Not only the hard power that we can offer to the society or to the individual, to the person, but also the soft power like a knowledge of forgiveness. This can be called as a willpower, that all people, all suffering people are in need of. This is because the giving can destroy a sense of a selfishness. It is because of a giving constructing a sense of selflessness. So this is how the dana or a giving is acting as a tool to construct, to build up a sense of the happiness. Because the amount of the suffering of the people that we are offering our help, our forgiveness, the sympathy, the unity are being destroyed. And that's how the sense of the happiness occur. And where does it occur? It occurs in the mind. It occurs, what we call in Pali is Vedana, or we call it Sukha Vedana, the feeling of the happiness that has been made from destroying the suffering through the process of giving, different forms of giving, either hard power or a soft power. The next one that can bring about the happiness is the morality, or we call it sila. Building up a sense of conscience, or we call in Pali hiri otapa, a sense of conscience, by abstaining from unwholesome action, for example, killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, liars, or intoxicating the mind by drinking, drugging. the 5 precepts is always bring about the happiness. By abstaining, you just imagine how the society will be safe and secure or trustful, and you can easily obtain the peaceful society. There will be no criminal. The society or the community becomes so disciplined, be in order. Of course, it will look very, very beautiful. The ideal or the idea of the democracy has to be with a sense of conscience, the responsibility, a sense of caring on others, not only caring for yourself, but you always care for another. So a disciplinary or the law of the society is a really great tool to facilitate the individual to access or obtain the public utilities or all the resources. It is not something that you have to take away. The law or the disciplinary, it's not something that you take away the freedom from the individuals. It actually helping the society, facilitate the society to have a sense of big sharing, the sense of the unity. So we have to put it in the right way, that the disciplinary is giving a really great support for the society. Imagine if everyone follow the law or the disciplinary, what happened? The equality of the society will occur. With the hand of the morality or sila. You will see that the gap between poor and rich can be minimized or even sealed. So this can be seen only when the individual has the morality, or the individual follow the laws or instruction or even the protocol. Let's take a look during this time. This we are in the pandemic of the coronavirus. Because of we follow the protocol of the government, either local government or the state or state government or the federal protocol. If everyone follow the protocol, the instruction, the guidelines of the government, the society or the community will be more safe, getting more safe every day. Safety offer a sense of the happiness. When we are safe, we are secure. When we are secure, we are happy. So that is the flow of the happiness we can approach. We can get access through the process of having the morality, of following the laws of the society, of the community. If you notice that the Buddhist country, most of the Buddhist country are happier than any other country. Why? This is because the Buddhist country has the morality. We practice the morality. We follow the precept very strictly. So that can bring about the happiness in the Buddhist society or the community or the country even. Imagine if every country on the earth and people in each single country has the morality, at least the 5 precepts. It will be really great, peaceful. It will be a really happy country. So this is how the morality benefits the life and offer the happiness for the individual as well as the society, and lastly for the world. The next one that I would like to introduce, the two that can generate a sense of the happiness, is called concentration, or the samadhi in Pali. With the great effort, or we call it virya. Let's everybody here imagine when we are doing something, working on something, and we focus on the thing that we are doing with a strong effort. When we succeed, the job that we have done, the job that we are doing, there will be always a feeling or a sense of joy, a joyfulness, a gladness, and finally we are approaching a sense of the happiness. Or even, when you can get your job done, you smile. You coming out from the job with a smiling face, a sense of proudness. You are proud for what you have done. That means the concentration is an origin of the happiness during the action. And it happens, it occurs, especially when you're doing a good things, you're performing a good deed, you will have a bigger and bigger, greater and greater sense of the happiness. And this is very natural, for human being. It's a nature. It's a phenomena of the mind that when you succeed something, you always get a bonus of happiness. So it looks like that the happiness that occur when you focusing, when you have a concentration, it looks like that everyone can accomplish a happiness through the process of concentration. This is what I have learned when I introduce or when I teach the meditation, especially a samatha kammatthana or a concentration meditation to my clients, to my students. That the happiness we can construct, we can build up by ourselves. You don't have to be depend on someone. You don't have to rely on the external factors, but you can build it for yourself from inside. The inner happiness is always bigger than the outer happiness. The inner happiness is bigger than the material happiness that you have to attach to. You lost your freedom when you attach to the material. You expecting the happiness more from when you expecting the happiness from the material. You're losing your freedom. But in the opposite direction, when you building up the happiness from inner through the process of the meditation, especially through the process of concentration meditation, that's how you approach by yourself a greater sense of the happiness inside, internally. This was the Buddha called the jnana sukha, or in Sanskrit we call jhana sukha. The sukha that arises from the jhana, or the sukha that's arising from the concentration, especially when you approach, when you reach the stage of a deep concentration, or we call it the absorptive concentration, the absorptive stage of mind. The first jhana, the thought and the consideration on one particular object or the job or the work that you are performing with the great sense of the effort, the viriya, it will lead you to approach the joyness, the joyfulness, and finally the happiness. In the kammatthana or the meditation, the samatha kammatthana or the concentration meditation, we're talking about the vitakka, the vikara, the piti, and sukha. This is the process. This is the natural, become a natural process of making a happiness through a process of the meditation that consists of the four factors. Number one is vitakka, or a thought. Number two, the vikara, or consideration, and the piti, a sense of joyness or gladness, and then the sukha, a big sense of the satisfaction. and the happiness that occur during a process of the meditation is getting bigger and bigger, greater and greater, and make and building up the mind of the one who practicing the meditation to become approaching directly to that mental object and has a deep concentration, a deep concentrative state of mind, what we call it ekakkata, the single pointedness concentration. And at that particular moment, a huge sense of the happiness is always there for you. It's become a willpower, allow you, supporting you to stay in the meditation for a longer period of time. And this is because of the soft power of the happiness that arises during a meditation process. The last one that can consider as a tool to generate the happiness is a wisdom. A wisdom is become a tool to disclose the truth, enlightening the darkness. Or we can say the wisdom can solve the problem of life in many, many ways. Wisdom is a process of cultivating, can be considered as the greatest process of making a happiness for life through the process of learning, practicing, and realizing. We call in Buddhism as pariyatti, patibatti, and pativet. So the process of learning, practicing, and realization is built of the one who on that particular action a happiness. The association with the good person, for example, a noble friend, we call it kalayana mitta. You learn from them. We call it paratto kosa. The voice of someone else beside you. You discuss the knowledgeable topic instead of talking of useless topic. This become a process of what we call it sutta, the learning process that the Buddha really appreciate. And sutta is originating the word called sutta. The many sutta that the Buddha taught during 45 years of life has come from a sutta, come from a sense of listening. Sota and sutta it's a door. It's a door of knowledge. And from learning, the brain get expand. The brain become, the quality of the brain become getting better and better when you keep listening to the knowledgeable things, the knowledgeable issue, topics. And once you have the paratto kosa, you become learning, you are listening to the someone that having a knowledge, or we call it satta burut, the good person, a noble friends. You will have the second quality beside a paratto kosa. It's called yoniso manasikara, a systematic consideration. You like to know the cause. You have a really investigative mind because you listen, because you have a systematic consideration on one particular issue that you might have heard from the teaching of your teacher, of the Buddha. So paratto kosa and the yoniso manasikara, a sense of consideration, a systematic, systematic consideration, or yoniso manasikara, is a main ingredients for a sati, the mindfulness, and a wisdom or panya. And it's not very difficult to earn, to gain a yoniso manasikara if you avoid hanging out with a bad person, avoid or stay away from the bad person, stay away from the bad society. And then you develop the mind through learning, through thinking, through practicing. Of course, I'm talking about the different levels, the different classes of wisdom or panya. The first one we call it sutta maya panya, the panya that arise, that occur, that you can gain from when you learn. We call it suttama panya. And the panya, or the wisdom that you can gain from consideration, from thinking on one particular issue, we call it Chintama Panya. And finally, you gain a great wisdom through a process of practicing. For example, Vipassana. We call that Bhavana Maya Panya, the highest wisdom. The Buddha said that Nippanang Palamang Sukhang, the sukha, the sense of the happiness that arises when you are approaching, when you reach out the Nibbana, or the Nibbana. It's a supreme sense of the happiness. And it becomes the goal, the main goal, the highest goal of life in Buddhism. And you can approach that sense of happiness right here, right now. when you are still alive. So this is how we build up our happiness right here, right now, and it become a 4 different kinds of the happiness that we can gain right here, right now. But of course, the happiness is a feeling, is a vedana. And of course, the vedana is one of the 5 aggregates. Vedana, a feeling, is one of the 5 aggregates or the 5 khandhas. So all the 5 khandhas fall under the same characteristic. That is anicca, dukkha, anatta. So the happiness is always swing. It's always up and down. And one is getting down, one is getting low. It leads you to the point of the suffering. That means if you want to have the happiness, you want to stay on the top of the hill all the time, you have to maintain it. You have to know how to maintain it. You have to learn how to keep your happiness longer and longer. You have to learn how to expand your happiness for yourself and for another. And that's how you can be happiness. You can be happy longer and longer. So as we mentioned earlier that once we want to be happy, we have to learn how to give. So if you want to keep your happiness longer, you have to give more than you're taking, or give more, take less. And that's how you can maintain your happiness. You can be happier longer, or longer happiness, by sharing things, togetherness, helping the people, supporting the society. If you practice a giving, and that's how you maintain the happiness longer. But if you're taking more than giving, you are destroying the happiness. So it's very simply talking that if you want to maintain your happiness, you have to become a person who giving more than taking. This is number one, that how to maintain the happiness through the process of adana, giving away. And then if you want to stay happy longer and longer, you have to keep yourself with the precept, with the morality. Make your life become the moral life. a life immoral. If you can make yourself more secure, more safe, and you can make another more safe, more secure, the happiness become bigger and bigger and stay longer and longer with your own happiness, and the happiness of the society become more firm, become more stronger and getting bigger. How does it get bigger? Because of a big sense of sharing, togetherness, the unity. With the soft power, with the material, when you are sharing with someone else, the happiness become bigger and bigger spontaneously, automatically. And then if you want the happiness become larger and you can own it for yourself, you have to maintain your concentration. Whatever you do, what job you do, you focus with the strong effort, the viriya. If you can maintain, the successfulness of the people is always come from the effort, the viriya. And when you are successful, you can touch the big sense of the proudness, the proud. You are proud of what you are doing. What happened inside your mind is the gladness, the joyful, the rapture, and it's getting bigger when you have more concentration, when you have more samadhi. Your mind become more happy, become happier and happier, getting bigger and bigger when you have more concentration. And especially if you have a single pointed concentration, happiness is always there for you. And it's internally. Nobody can take it away, your happiness. You build it for yourself and you own it for yourself. And if you maintain it, it always with you. And it takes you somewhere that you never expected to be there. So keep your mind concentrated and maintain it. For each and every single breath in and breath out, with the big sense of mindfulness, you know that what you're doing is not only you have a concentrative mind, but you always having a mindfulness all the time when you have a samadhi. The concentrative mind and the mindfulness are really great tools or the ingredients for the happiness that one cannot miss it. And then if you want the happiness to become a true happiness, that's what I mean to say, the true happiness, the nibbana is a true happiness. The nibbanang paramang sukhang, a true happiness that one can arrive by learning, by maintaining your knowledge. How to maintain your knowledge, how to maintain your wisdom or panya? By keep learning. Why we have to keep learning all the time? Because the world is changing. Anicca laksana, anicca lakkana. The nature of changing, the nature of impermanence, everything is changing because everything is impermanent. It keep changing all the time. You can realize, you can notice nothing is not changed. Everything is changing. And that's why we have learning. We have to learn. We have to be learning at all time. In order to know things beforehand, when you have a really great knowledge, a true knowledge, you become a person to know everything beforehand. You even finally gain what is called intuition. The sukhum kampirapap, the sense of the intuition. You know things in advance. That means you can protect yourself. You can protect others. You can protect your society or community. Through the process of learning, maintaining your knowledge by learning all the time, because the world is changing. Nothing is stable. All things that we are facing, all things around us are unstable. You know, the thing that you see today is going to change less or more tomorrow. The thing that you expect to see tomorrow, it will change the day after tomorrow. Imagine if you keep learning all the time, that means you are going along with the changing of the world. This is the speaking of what called sati. You maintain your wisdom, you maintain your sati or a mindfulness. The sense of learning, the maintaining of learning is turn you to become a person of the comprehensive understanding, or we call in Pali sati, sampachanya, a comprehensive understanding. A mindfulness is a dharma of the present, you know. So when you have a mindfulness, that means you go along with what's happening, because a mindfulness itself is the dharma of the present, or we call in Bali the sati is the paccubbanna dhamma, paccubbanna dhamm. So that means we can be all the time happy in each and every single moment, because of sati is the dharma of the present. Sati is a ปัจจุบันธรรม so this is how we can maintain the happiness in Buddhism the happiness can can be with you all the time when you have a samadhi and sati the concentration and mindfulness it allows you to know everything beforehand especially one who skillfully trained one who have their mind skillfully trained they always know things beforehand and because of this the life is safe and more secure and when your life is safe more safe secure and more secure you will feel happy so I would like to summarize the four kinds of the happiness in Buddhism number one is jhana sukha or we call in Thai version in Thai sound thana sukh and then we can call the sukha or the happiness that arises from the morality as sila sukh and the happiness that arises from the concentration we call it jhana sukh chana sukha and the last one the happiness that arises from the panya or the wisdom we call it panyana sukha so all these four different kinds of the happiness will allow you will lead you to the point the highest point the goal of the Buddhism called Nibbana and that is called Nibbana Sukha. So this is what we can build up, we can originate a sense of the happiness and how to maintain the happiness in Buddhism. So I think the topic today is over with the meaning of the Nibbana, the Nibbana Sukh ครับนิมนต์อาจารย์ครับในส่วนของผมคงมีแค่นี้ครับ
And thank you so much. Young George is talking about is how to maintain happiness, and we have too many ways and to be enjoy and happy our life and body be happy and it is one way is we should take care right now on virus corona and about how to take care your body and because Buddha teaching about is very most suffering from the sankhara sankhan and people and get sick and people and suffering about his body loss and happy in the mental happy is a mind happy this is but all the Yom choices talking about the happiness this is the way how to maintain your happiness dana or chana or the nippanang paramang sukham but is Yom short is all the dhamma of the Buddha teaching and the Buddha teaching is the way to be happy all the dhamma we practice if people practice the dhamma and everything and you work and you do everything you have a sila you have a dana you help the people in the right now people are suffering and this is all the dhamma of the Buddha teaching is the way is to be happy and if you are the good person and you be happy all the time, this is your you have a mindful and this is the your maintain is easy how to be happy. If you know the Dhamma, understand about the Dhamma, like number one, you not carry everything. Let it go. This is wonderful of the word. This is wonderful to talking about the happiness themselves because it's and I think it's and people and looking for the how to be happy, but they don't know. Like someone asked me how to be happy, and the Buddha is a point how of the happiness. But then people is do about is not the way to be happy. Like heart of the Buddha teaching about if you not to do anything bad, this is the way easy. And then, but when you do about everything cool, like a Long Paul Panya say, is duty is Dhamma. This is the way how to be happy. It's simple, easy to speak, like easy to speak. Yeah, easy to speak. Wonderful, Yom Shas, because and we talk in the morning, and then after that, and when we will invite some monk and me too, and we discuss and how to be happy. How to be happy, and then it's all the Dhamma we can talk and about it because we study the Dhamma from how to be happy. This is a good way because people interested and some people they don't like it's difficult the Dhamma. So thank you so much, Yom Shot, today, and you are is a father. how how to be happy at Father Day. How the way to father to be happy and don't worry about your kid and your job and because and father and mother is a worry a lot about the right about the kids do like this do like this do like this it's a let it go and we practice a middle way and we should free them how to take care of themselves this too many things we can talk about how to be happy I love about the Achan Dalai Lama and he really talking about my religion is the religion of the happiness. Is a non-violent and take care yourself and have generosity. Too many ways. And this and sometimes in church we can talking about the some book. And when you what about the you bring the book, what about the book you recommend, and then we talking. It is a very good way to very good way to and when we talk Dhamma like this, we have too many ways and separate about the book, about the invite some people to discuss and enjoy. But right now we observe about the and last week and about the I think 500 people and follow about the Dhamma talk. And thank you so much, Yom George. And I will talking about is Thai a little bit Father Day right now. Okay, Yom George, thank you so much. Okay, and you will say, okay, thank you, Yom George. Say goodbye to the people.
ครับก็okay today is a Father Day in Thailand I wish all fathers of the world you are the great person you have to be proud of yourself that you are the one who make your family happy and happier through the process of what we have been discussed today. It's going to benefit not only you but benefit your family, your society, and finally the world. I wish you all happy, healthy, and safety. And we have to be together, and we're going to get through this hard time, the pandemic of the coronavirus together. We will move on together. Thank you very much, Ajahn, and we see you next Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Yom George, and thank you for everyone and to listen to Dhamma Talk นะอนุโมทนาญาติโยมทุกท่านนะที่กำลังติดตามรายการธรรมะ in English how to maintain the happiness แล้วก็สำหรับวันนี้ก็เป็นวันของFather Day may all the father to be happy and enjoy แล้วฉะนั้นก็ขออนุโมทนาส่งกำลังใจกับญาติโยมรายการธรรมทอล์ก in English ในยามเวลานี้ก็จะทดลองในวันต่อไปก็จะได้นิมนต์ครูบาอาจารย์มาจัดในวันอื่นบ้างบางทีพรุ่งนี้วันอาทิตย์ก็อาจจะมาจัดรายการเรื่องน้ำท่วมหรือว่าสัมภาษณ์ครูบาอาจารย์บ้างซึ่งความสุขเป็นสิ่งที่เราทั้งหลายหาได้สุขทางกายรักษาสุขภาพให้แข็งแรงสุขทางใจก็ต้องดูแลรักษาจิตให้จิตนี้มีความสงบแล้วก็ให้จิตนี้ไม่ทุกข์ไปตามกิเลสตามกระแสวันนี้รายการก็ขอลาท่านทั้งหลายก็ขออนุโมทนาญาติโยมที่ได้ทำบุญร่วมกันทำบุญในโครงการที่อาตมาภาพเองได้บอกบุญเล็กน้อยเพื่อที่จะช่วยเหลือญาติโยมที่ตกทุกข์ไร้ยากลำบากในเรื่องของน้ำท่วมแล้วก็ญาติโยมเขาทำมาตั้งเป้าว่าจะได้ข้าวสารจากต่างแดนจากวัดพุทธปัญญานันทารามจากวัดธรรมยทารามญาติโยมจะได้ข้าวสารไปแจกจ่ายญาติโยมเพื่อเราสร้างเส้นทางของความสุขฉะนั้นเมตตาธรรมเป็นเครื่องค้ำจุนโยกอยู่ด้วยความรักด้วยความเมตตาด้วยความเมตอกเห็นใจก็จะทำให้เราเองมีความสุขและสังคมมีความสุขวันนี้ก็ลาท่านทั้งหลายเพียงแค่นี้ก่อนพบกันใหม่ในตอนเย็นวันนี้รายการก็จะอาจจะพูดถึงเรื่องข้อนี้ก็ได้ต่อเรื่อง how to be happy ก็ขอเจริญพรลาญาติโยมทุกท่านก็ขอให้ญาติโยมที่อยู่ที่แวนคูเวอร์แล้วก็ที่วัดธรรมยทารามที่ซีแอตเทิลด้วยก็ขอให้วันนี้เป็นวันที่ดีๆเป็นวันพ่อก็ขอให้พ่อทั้งหลายมีความสุขและก็สำหรับญาติโยมที่อยู่ทางเมืองไทยก็ขอหลับขอนอนก็ขอให้ท่านได้นอนหลับฝันดีระมัดระวังน้ำระมัดระวังไปอันตรายไม่ประมาทก็ขอนอนหลับฝันดีราศีสวัสดิ์ก็ขอเจริญพร